Burnout is a form of mental fatigue that kills your creativity and makes problems look like they're impossible to solve, which can cause you to become short-sighted, make big mistakes, or just give up altogether. I love how the author of this article from Nest Labs illustrates the signs of creative burnout. Independently, most of these signs are harmless, but if you have more than 2 of these symptoms, it's likely you're on the path to or already in a full-blown burnout phase. So what can you do when you hit that creative brick wall? How do you find the switch to flip that creativity back on when you're officially burnt out? Stick around to hear the really simple, albeit not so easy things that you can do to clear your head and begin to flow with amazing creativity again, perhaps even better than they were before. Hi, Lisa Lloyd here with more tips, tricks, and strategies to optimize and accelerate your Invention licensing success. If you like this video, please smash the like and subscribe buttons. It's a free way to support me. And when you hit the notification bell, you'll be the first to know when I've posted a new video each and every week. Creative burnout can easily fly under the radar. I mean, it's normal for creativity to fluctuate depending on factors like sleep or stress levels, or it could even be masked as maybe temporary procrastination or a lack of motivation. But if you depend on the creative output as an emotional outlet like I do, creative burnout can have a much more devastating impact on mental health. Burnout comes from emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress and makes you feel overwhelmed and emotionally drained. Eventually, you feel like you've run out of ideas and have nothing more to give. And let's face it, the business of innovation is full of those obstacles, and not just while you're inventing the next best gadget, but the creativity required all of the stages that you have to go through to commercialize your new gadget. Give me a thumbs up if you can relate to this in the comments below. I recently shared with you how I pretty much lost everything about 10 years ago and had to start all over. If you missed that, you can catch it here. But I was completely stressed out and burnt out at the time. I found myself stuck in what I think was like a dark tunnel with no clarity on which direction I needed to go to get out. I could barely decide what clothes to put on every day, yet alone task my mind with creative problem solving and workshopping some invention. I was the epitome of burnout, and it would take me almost 3 years to have another product idea. Brad Stulberg nailed it for me in his blog when he said, "It's become increasingly easy to link our self-worth to the short-term results of our work. When we get stuck in this cycle, chasing one result after another, rushing from one project to the next, ceaselessly striving, our world narrows. We miss out on joy, and burnout often ensues." So in other words, when we chase after success to make us happy, we never find it. And in the end, we end up burnt out instead. He goes on to say, if the path to burnout is a reducing valve of awareness, it's awe that helps to open us back up. Dacher Keltner, a professor of psychology at UC Berkeley, has shown that awe is tied directly to feelings of expansiveness, transcendence, and connection. So, using his analogy, a closed creativity valve can be opened up when we deliberately look at everything through the lens of awe. So, if you feel like you've hit a brick wall, like you just don't have what it takes to solve the next problem in front of you, here are some things that you can do to break through the wall and get you back to feeling awe-inspired creativity flowing through your veins again. First, take a moment to honor yourself and acknowledge what you're feeling in the first place. Maybe it's as simple as, I'm stuck. I have no idea what to do next. You can't fix a problem that you don't know you have, so acknowledge your feelings and then you can begin to do something about it. Next, take a break from the problem. Just hit the pause button. Whatever it is that has you completely stressed out and on the verge of, or already burnt out, is not going to fix itself. But you're also not going to be equipped to fix it in a burnt out state. I know this can be hard, especially if you're a bit of a control freak like me, but I'm not asking you to give up control. In fact, I'm suggesting that you employ the ultimate kind of control, self-control. Just give your mind a break. It could be a 15-minute distraction, a good night's sleep, or more time depending on the level of stress that, well, got you there in the first place. If you really want to see this work in spades, then use the time away to do something awe-inspiring. What gives you goosebumps? An inspirational movie, a certain kind of music, maybe just watching a sunset? You get the picture? Something that provokes those feelings of joy and meaningfulness in you. After you've given yourself the time you need to rest, restore, and recalibrate, it's time to get the creative juices flowing again. The next step is to revisit the problem from different angles. Look at it backwards, forwards, inside out. Look at it from every angle. I love the way Robin Williams explains it in the movie Dead Poets Society.
Why do I stand up here? Anybody?
To feel taller.
No. Thank you for playing, Mr. Dalton. I stand upon my desk to remind myself that we must constantly look at things in a different way. See, the world looks very different from up here. You don't believe me? Come see for yourselves. Come on. Come on. Just when you think you know something, you have to look at it in another way. Even though it may seem silly or wrong, you must try. Now, when you read, don't just consider what the author thinks. Consider what you think. Boys, you must strive to find your own voice. Because the longer you wait to begin, the less likely you are to find it at all. Thoreau said most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Don't be resigned to that. Break out. Now don't just walk off the edge like lemmings. Look around you. There you go, Mr. Christie. Thank you. Yes. Dare to strike out and find new ground.
Allow yourself to see the problem from every perspective, and it is a surefire way to gain new insights even on an old problem. And finally, do your best to prevent burnout before it even happens with structured distractions. I suspect this is true for most inventors and entrepreneurs, but I think I learned it at a young age to internalize my ideas and get really hyper-focused on the work of bringing those ideas to life. But our brains were not designed to sustain attention for long periods of time. We need to alternate between focus and distractions. So instead of forcing yourself to work through fatigue and demotivation, make sure to take creative breaks with awe. It's the proverbial take the time to smell the roses. It will help you restore your motivation, prevent decision fatigue, and improve your overall well-being. And when you add all of that up, you will create mysterious and wonderful solutions to difficult problems and maybe, who even knows, change the world in the process. If you like this tutorial, be sure to let me know in the comments below and smash the like, subscribe, and notification bell. If you still have questions or would like to know more or build your own invention licensing business, book a free call with me using the link below. Dare to dream and imagine what's possible when powered by innovation.